stay there. Ooh. Now, just in case it hasn't started yet. You never know. I have been told about this. You start your live stream off, you start whittling away, start chatting away. You think someone's listening, and they're not. They're not, because you press the button and it doesn't work straight away. So you have to be prepared to be doing something else in the meantime, just in case you're wasting your time. Oh, yes. Well, anyway, hello. It is me, the man with a cup in his hand and a brown t-shirt on, with the floppy hair and the beard and the painting in the background that people seem to be a bit too interested in. Why? Why am I here tonight? Well, it's probably a combination of still being alive and also thinking that maybe somebody might want to have a little chat or something. You never know. You never know. You never know. I certainly don't know until now. Until I start opening up the chat thingy, seeing what's going on, seeing if there's anybody here, seeing if anybody who's going to be here, seeing whatever. What's the point? As promised tonight, by the way, yesterday's curry and chat. The chat, that's the easy bit. Yesterday's curry, also the easy bit, except that's the wrong thing, because it wasn't yesterday I made it, it was actually the day before. Last night I did a live stream, didn't I? Or did I? Did I do one? Gee, I can't even remember now. Did I do one last night? Gosh, that's rather strange. You'd think I'd remember, but for some reason I don't. I don't remember at all. I don't remember whether I did one or whether I didn't do one. And now with that there, that's rather confusing and rather annoying, and I really don't know what to say about it. So, what can I say next? It was either last night or the night before. That's the point. That's the point, and that's the one I shall stick with. So, good evening to everybody who is here, which isn't really very many, but never mind. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Maybe I could happily just chat away to 4 people, or 10 people, or 24 people, or 3 people, or 300 people. I don't really mind. Well, actually, the 300 would be better for the channel than 4. But anyway, so far we have 5 people here, 3 likes, and that's not too bad a start. Anyway, I'm gonna get you this curry and just show it to you, I think. Because I made it, and it was surprisingly good. It was much better than I was expecting. And mind you, when it's cold, you can't really tell. You can't really get much of it. I think it was last night. And yes, I shall be warming some of this up in a little bit. It's got absolutely loads and loads of coriander in it. Like half a bag of coriander, because that's what I had left. I thought, I'm not going to waste that. So I chopped it up. And then towards the end, I just thought, I'm going to put the whole lot in. Put the whole lot in. If there's too much coriander, then I've overdone it. But as it goes, putting too much coriander in something is a bit like putting too much pepper in something. It's quite difficult to do. So I'm not ready for that just yet. Not ready just yet. Now, this might be, I don't know, the trouble with doing live streams in the evenings is I don't really know whether it's going to be suitable or not. And so it makes it a bit difficult to plan it too far ahead. So that's why it started at 9 tonight, because up until 10 minutes beforehand, or 15 minutes or whatever it was, or maybe half an hour, I wasn't really sure whether it was going to be a good idea or not. And are you ready? You ready for this? Yeah, there we go. That's what I think. Or that excuse. It's not an excuse at all. It's just something to say. Right, so what am I doing? Right, glasses. I'll get my glasses out and I'll put it on all chat, and hopefully we'll have some sort of conversation on the go, won't we? Right, so all chat, live chat, that's what I've done straight away, and it looks like, yeah, there's just 2 people here, and one of them's me. And the other one is me. Well, I was here before. It's almost like I think if I come on my other channel and say hello, then it just starts the thing off. Because I'll be honest, I pressed like, and I didn't even know whether I was going to like the live stream or not. But I thought I'll take the chance. So I put my neck on the line here by liking this live stream before it had even started. And I think that's quite brave of me. And so that started it, and hopefully we'll keep it going. Now, Greenwood is here. The Greenwood is here and leaving the usual moderation message for all of the people that are not here yet to read. Can I pin it? That's the thing. Can you pin messages on a live stream? Hello, everyone. I am your slightly sweaty lady, bossing this warm Friday. Friday Eve. The Friday Eve. It is Friday. It's not Thursday. It's not Friday tomorrow. It's Friday today. I have a glass of wine here, which means I shall either love you or spank you. And if you're lucky, both. Now, there's a promise, isn't there? There's usual rules apply. Most important being, don't be a dick to the other chat members. And that is quite a good rule, actually, because if you come on and you're new and you introduce yourself and say, hello, I'm this person, I live here, whatever, I like fishing, or on Tuesdays I like going to the bank, even if I've no reason to go there. On Wednesdays I do the same thing again, but for somebody else. And on Friday I chill. Yeah, so you could do that kind of thing, and that'd be fine. And we'll all say, well, that's nice to meet you, welcome to this live chat, and please join in and like the live stream. Yeah, all that kind of thing. Or you could come in and just find someone who you've never met before and just be obnoxious. That's being a dick. Just to clarify this so that you do know, in case you're confused by it. Hi all, hi Mustard, says the Greenwood to me, because there's nobody else here, which is great. I can't remember if you did a live stream last night. That's two of us then, isn't it? I don't think you did, but you did make a curry last night because you said you were in both. Ah, right. Yes. Okay, that's it. I made the curry last night and I didn't do a live stream. That was it. Yeah. Okay, that's cleared that one up. So I am due to do one tonight, even though I did one earlier on today. So there we go. And no, you did not live stream last night. I just checked. Thank you for checking, because we're all clear about this now anyway. Oh gosh. And Ivor Howard is here. Hello, Ivor Howard. How are you doing? Wonderful to have you here. Enjoy yourself. Have a lovely time, etc. Oh gosh. Right, hang on. Now, the tripod from time to time will do this thing where it just starts to just do something a bit erratic like that. So let's try and keep it straight. Yeah. Yes, you can pin on a live stream. Okay, right. So let's pin that then. So that comment there. Pin message, yes. All right, there we go. So I'm pinning your message because I think it's important. I think it's important that people read that when they first come in case there are quite a few. You never know. It could happen at any point. We could be going from 13 people watching, which isn't a massive amount, and 13 people watching and liking, which would be even better, to 400 people and only 12 liking. You just don't know. But if they read that first, then they know the rules, and that would be a good idea, wouldn't it? So thank you. And right now, where we're up to? Where was we up to? Right. Okay. Vishu. Hello, sir. How are you? Oh, I'm very well, actually. Very well indeed. Vishu, provided you are still here, I don't think I recognise your name. Whereabouts are you from? And, are you still here? You can only answer that if you are still here. If you're not still here, don't worry about it. I'll catch you on another time. And if you have been here before, I apologise for not recognising your name. I can't recognise everybody's name. It's just not in my nature. Well, not my nature, it's just not in my capacity. I'm not capable of remembering absolutely everybody's names. Vishu. I've got a new car now for my birthday, says Ivor Howard. You've got a new car for your birthday. Do you mean that somebody's bought you a car for your birthday? Or have you bought it for yourself as a birthday treat? Because there is a difference. Now, if you're an adult with some money to spend and you think, I don't really deserve this car, and I don't need it, and I've got a car, and I need an excuse to give myself another car. It's my birthday. That'll do. Now, that would work. Otherwise, it's kind of relying on somebody else, isn't it? The Welsh porker. The Welsh porker. Now, what does that name really mean? It means so it's the one, presumably there's no others. Welsh, meaning that you're Welsh, and porker. What does that mean? What does porker mean? Does it mean you're a piggy, or does it mean something else? I would really like to know that. And are you from Wales? Good evening, Squire, says the Welsh porker, and does this again, which I've asked before. What does that mean? I mean, obviously, people do that. They use metalhead to do it, but what does it actually mean? I've got an idea. I think it might mean, is it like horns, like the goat's horns? Let me know if you do know yourself. Yay, yes, I put lots of thought into my intro, and it's lovely if they all see it. Yes, I think so too. You do put lots. I keep on my videos, I keep pinning Windy Miller's messages, Windy Miller's comments, because just some of them are so good. But it wouldn't really work with this, would it? Oh, I was in Portsmouth. Okay, that's nice. That's now, is that Portsmouth on the south coast, or is it Portsmouth that's actually quite near here? There's a place called Portsmouth in between Todmorden and Burnley, and it doesn't look anything like the other Portsmouth, and it's not a port. Vishu says, I'm from India, and that's fantastic. I'm glad I asked you that now, and I'm glad that you've stayed as well. But Vishu, have you liked the live stream yet? Because that's really important. And I'm going to use this one opportunity just at the moment, as there are 13 people watching, 6 of which have probably already liked it. One of them is me. That liking the live stream is really important. If you like anything at all of what I'm doing here, which isn't anything at the moment, then please like it, because it will help my ranking in the algorithm. So thank you very much. And there we go. There's one. 7 likes. Right, okay. Smarty Ashad YT. Hello, uncle. Well, hello, nephew or niece, whichever you prefer. Welcome to the live stream tonight. What should I call you? Should I call you Ashad, Smarty, or YT? And the YT, is that YouTube, or is it your toes? You can tell me. I know little English, says Vishu. Well, you sound like you another flying thing. You don't need to know lots of English to be able to join in a live stream, do you? Oh, gosh. Oh. Oh, that was a strange pain that just went on in my head then. I didn't enjoy that very much at all. Never mind, I shall carry on as if it hadn't happened. Citroen C4 2008 for free. Oh, now that is brilliant. Free is the best price that you can pay for something, isn't it? Was it free because someone gave it to you, or somebody bought it for you though? Obviously, that means you haven't bought it yourself, but you may have just acquired it. Maybe someone said to you, I've got this Citroen C4, a 2008 model, and I don't want it. give me a reason to give it to you. And then you say, well, it's my birthday next week. And the person who owns the Citroen C4 says, perfect, right. I'll wrap it up and put a bow in it for you. Did that happen? Was this car gifted to you by somebody that you know or somebody that you don't know? I've had a few free cars in the past. It does help if people know that you're interested in them and will do your best to actually give them some sort of home. If they, have anything at all about this car that they really liked and they wouldn't want to see it getting wrecked. So for many people, a 2008 car is too old, isn't it? Berserk. Oh, that's a cool one, isn't it? Berserk. Can you wish me happy birthday? So it's a second birthday, then happy birthday, Berserk. Welcome to this live stream. Please stay. Please stay a while, and other people will wish you a happy birthday as well, if that is what floats your boat. I'm going sleeping. Huh? Right, hang on. Smarty Ashad Whitey. I'm going sleeping. Okay, Uncle. Bye. Oh, right, bye. I was in bye bye. Okay. All right, okay. Enjoy your sleep. You must be, if you are still here, I am going to guess that you are not in the UK, because at this time of night, most people aren't going to sleep. It's a rock star sign, by the way. It says Berserk. Well, I know it's been kind of rock stars that use it, but the trouble is, often people do signs and say things without knowing what they're doing it for. And that's why I'm asking, does anybody know what it actually means? Val draws, it means rock on. But what does that mean? What does rock on mean? Does it mean keep playing rock music, or does it mean put a rock on something? What does it mean? Pick up your guitar and even though you've not changed the strings for 15 years, play yourself a G major 7th chord, which you won't really be able to hear too well because it's not plugged in. I bet it doesn't mean that. Major 7th chords aren't really particularly prominent in rock music, are they? The Welsh polka. Polka because I'm skinny from the neck up only. I see. So the Welsh polka is somewhat overweight. And like most people who are overweight, usually they just, you've got to accept it. If you're going to be overweight, you've got to accept that people are going to point it out to you and you just live with it. Or you try and lose the weight. But one of the good things about being overweight or anything like this is that you learn how to tolerate and you learn how to accept an element of bullying without getting too upset about it. So I've known many people who are overweight and they just don't seem to get offended by things like a skinny person might do. That's British. That's a British way, isn't it? That you proper friends you do make fun of. As my friend Boaty uses it as an excuse, actually, so that he can be constantly having dig at me everywhere he goes with everything he does. Everything he does, and he says, "Well, it's what we do. It's what friends do, isn't it?" And that's why I speak like that when referring to him. It's about 8 o'clock, which will be 11:30 tonight. And there we go, the first deleted message from Mason Ryder. So Mason Ryder, please do join in, but say things that make sense. And then everything will be super duper, hunky-dory, wonderful, beachy, creamy, etc. Would you like that? Would you? Would you like that? If so, please reply with something more sensible. It doesn't have to be sensible as in it's boring. It just has to make some sort of sense. And if it doesn't make sense, make it funny. If you can say something that's funny, if you can put a joke in here, that's brilliant. We love jokes in this live stream. Val Draws. Hi, Val Draws. GFE means girl fried forever. Says Mason Ryder. Where did the GFE come from? GFE means girl fried forever. I've never heard of that one before, ever. This is brilliant. This is what I love about doing live streams, is that you just learn things all the time. You learn things that you just wouldn't really ever learn otherwise. Hello and good evening, says Charlotte Caniston, and hello and good evening to you. Another wonderfully articulate person joins us, and that's always fantastic. Thank you for being here. Portsmouth, Hampshire. I know Ivor Howard. I'm kind of pulling your leg there because unless you live in this area, you wouldn't have heard of Portsmouth in in Yorkshire. I can't help myself. I'm sorry. I do it all the time, and hopefully that's why some of the people come back. I love Windy's comments and posts, says the Greenwood. I think nearly all of us do, actually. They deserve a website of their own. I think so too. I've been saying this to him. I've been saying that you should have your own YouTube channel, but I don't think he's got the face for it. Not really the face, but maybe. I always imagine that Windy's a very shy person. I mean, many YouTube people are shy, but what happens is you go onto YouTube and you just kind of come out of yourself in a way that would never possibly happen. And some people don't want to do that. It took me a while before I wanted to do it, and now I love not being in a shell. It's been a rather lovely hot day, hasn't it, everybody? I am starting to I don't actually burn as such. I just instantly change colour the moment I get out in the sun, and that's kind of nicer than turning into a blister like some people do. I like and subscribe your channel. Thank you, Vishu. Thank you very much. That's what I want to hear. Because if you like and subscribe, that means that more live streams that come up, you'll get a notification. And some people take notice of that and some don't. But being as the majority of the subscribers that I have are down to doing live streams, then I often wonder why not more people turn up. Thank you, yes. All right, Ivor Howard says, son bought it and didn't like it, so he gave it to me for my birthday. Brilliant, Ivor. I mean, that tells the whole story. That tells, I had to really sort of get it out of you, didn't I? Because I didn't even know how old you are, Ivor Howard. You're old enough to have a son that can buy a car. So your son bought it and he didn't like it. Now, do you like it though? Sorry, Ivor, I'm going to just keep asking you questions tonight. I'm just in the mood for asking people questions. Is it the 3-door version with a funny sort of back like that, or is it the less interesting 5-door version? And do you like it? I've never actually driven one myself. Gaming with Luke is here. Hello, Gaming with Luke. Hello, Gaming with Luke. Welcome to the live stream. Reaper Fate is here and says, "Can I be mod?" No, obviously not. I don't know who you are. You might have been here before, but mods don't just become mods by just being here once or asking. You have to earn it, and as it goes, so long as the Greenwood is here, I don't need another mod because the Greenwood is very, very good at modding. And there we go. Now, that's exactly why we need moderators, to stop people from asking the same question over and over again. And if you want to be a moderator, you're proving yourself not to be worthy, I'm afraid, by doing exactly that. But welcome anyway, and please stay and join in the chat. Please don't repeat the same comments. Right, star 4 star is here. Hey again, hello, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. Botio Clack. That voice impression every time. Thank you. Yeah. I think he likes it really. Well, he must like it because he started doing impressions of me doing impressions of him, which is quite a good thing. Hopefully Monday. Oh gosh, Monday. Whoa, Monday is going to be a rather strange one, provided that Steve Berry does actually turn up. If you don't know, there's a man called Steve Berry who used to be in a program called Top Gear. He was in it before Clarkson, Hammond and May turned it into the new Top Gear. Top Gear has been around for a good sort of, I think about 20 years maybe, or nearly 20 years beforehand, as just a motoring show. But as it went on, it kind of got a bit more silly. And Clarkson appeared in the mid-90s, and there were a bunch of people in the mid-90s that were a bit more, I wouldn't say comedy, but entertaining. It wasn't just like a newspaper article. And anyway, Steve Berry is one of these people that are in that. He's a very chippy, fast-talking northern man that's into his motorbikes. And I met him when he came to the lockup, to the yard, to buy a car off of me. And we've just become friends. So we've spoken many, many times. He comes up to the yard quite often with some biscuits and we have cups of tea together. But on Monday, the plan is that he's coming up and Boat is coming up. And we're going to have lunch together in the caravan. And it's going to be rather difficult because Steve is one of these people that you simply cannot get a word in edgeways in a conversation. Not to say he's not interesting. It's very, very interesting. He's very engaging conversationalist. But you've got to be sharp and you've got to be quick. Hi Star. Boaty's World is here. Hello, Boaty's World. Is it true that you don't eat or sleep or mow your lawn? You just furk. You just furk your uncle all day long. I don't know what that means. I haven't even got an uncle myself, so that can't really apply to me. How are you? I've missed you, says Star. Well, I'm fine. I'm easy enough to find though, unless you're talking to somebody else. Rashid Ragu is here. Hello, Rashid Ragu. And who's this been deleted? Oh, well. Okay. Johnny Boy, I'll read your name out, but I mean, that's no way to actually engage in conversation by coming up with nonsense like that. So, yeah, do try a bit harder. Do try. You get another chance. We don't just kick people out in this live stream for being a bit silly, but we do encourage them to not be obnoxious. So try again. I am from Pakistan, says Rashid Ragu, and that is excellent. That's very good. It's always wonderful having people from different parts of the world in this live stream. And I do encourage anyone that comes in to tell me where they're from. And then I tell them to like the live stream because that's just as important. Hello, my man, and hello to you. And hello to Rover Joe, who's just joined us as well. Rover Joe, another man, always welcome here. I'm sure that you've had a jolly good day in the sun today, haven't you, Rover Joe? No offensive language. Yeah, exactly. There's a limit to it, really. And there we go. Johnny Boy says sorry. So there we go. That's great. Johnny Boy, please stay and make yourself at home. Emma Lemon, just popping in to say hello to Mr. Mustard. Thank you very much, Emma. And if you're just popping in, that means you're probably just popping back out again, which is a pity, but I can't expect you to stay because there's probably something more important for you to be doing. Reword the question. That's fine. Rashid Ragu says, hi. Oh, Emma Lemon. Right. The weather has been great, says Rover Joe. I've got so much done on the Honda today. That's exactly what I was hoping you would be saying next. And I tell you what, I wish I had your dogged determination because my new motor's got a few things like that could do with doing. And I started tackling one of them today. Yeah. Oh, yes. But I'm not going as far as what you are. I mean, you're really pulling things apart properly. I mean, it's just as well you're not relying on that car for a daily motor, isn't it? Tomorrow, and the inner arch will be all complete. And that is the problem, isn't it? Because the inner arch on these particular cars, that model, and the Rover variant and the one before, the R8. So that's where they suffer. It's unfortunate. Oh, thank you very much for dying for our sins, by the way. Much appreciated. You are welcome. Is it Boaty? Yeah, you're most welcome. Most welcome. Please stay, dear Boaty, and like the live stream, you lanky git. Greenwood, what is your country? England, yes. Okay, man or female. What is your name? Asks Rashid Ragu. Are you asking me or somebody else? Hello, Mustard, and everyone says Andrew Buttigieg. Yes, another regular has rocked up to the Mustard live stream. Hello, formerly known as either Spotty Botty, Andrew Buttigieg. OMG, yes, Boaty's impressions of you doing his impressions just great. Now there's a new one. Perhaps I should do an impression of him doing an impression of me now, because his impression of me is just basically Alan Bennett, which of course I don't actually sound anything like. So an impression of an impression, you just take it another step, don't you? I've got to practice that for Monday, I reckon. What's your favourite ever hemorrhoid? Asks Boaty's Planet. And I don't have a favourite one because I don't particularly like them. But I can smell chips at the moment. You know, like the chippy chips. I was getting that all day, and it was making me hungry for something that I don't really want to eat. And I'm feeling the same thing now. I don't want to eat any chips. I want to eat the curry that I've made. But if I'm thinking of chips, even a curry doesn't quite work, does it? Something really good about eating chips, isn't there? And something really rude about parking on zigzags, even if you have a blue badge. And I've seen that today. I know this is a distraction, but here's a question I've been wanting to ask for quite a while. Now, blue badge holders, if you have a blue badge, that means that you're allowed to park on a double yellow line. But should you do, if you don't really need to do? I mean, obviously we have another thing with people who borrow blue badges just so they can do what they like. And that is really out of order. I really don't like that. But recently I've seen quite a few examples of a blue badge display parked somewhere, not only on a double yellow line, but in a real dangerous position as well. There's one just down the road here. It was on a bend, and it parked on the bend. And so you couldn't see past the car either way. And I'd be tempted to say, are you parking there because it's the closest to where you're going to? Or is it because you just don't want to go onto the other side of the road? Because I've seen that as well, where you'll have somebody that will just park and then go across the road, but they don't want to turn around. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. One that I don't have. Right, yeah, that's a good answer, that actually. Eliza is here. Hello, Eliza. And okay, there we go. Glad you're doing okay. It's a shame I can't stick around tonight, but maybe next week. Say star. Well, thank you. And thank you for coming around. Thank you for popping in. You don't have to stick around. So it's up to you, isn't it? Yes, but thank you. Do you miss me? Asks Eliza. Well, I kind of get on fine without you, to be honest. Yeah, I don't. You do ask things like this quite a lot. You're looking for some sort of reassurance here. Do you remember? I do remember you. Of course I remember you. Yes, I do. Andrew Buttigieg saying hello to people. I thought Greenwood was a guy. Don't swipe down, says Andrew Buttigieg. So presumably by doing that, you're going to find yourself on another live stream where you're going to witness something that you really don't need or want to see. And by him saying don't swipe down is going to make people intrigued, isn't it? Thank you, Andrew Buttigieg. Do you know what? What happened just then? I was just talking away, and then suddenly all my viewers disappeared. Could that have been at that point? Could it? Lol, I am most certainly a girl. I have chest pillows and everything. I'll send some photos, says Rover Joe, over to you in a moment. Oh, cool. I would like to see it. I'm very, very pleased by your progress. My screen name keeps creepy guys away. I didn't realise that actually that's what it doesn't always work though, does it? Because we've had a couple of ones knocking about that. Ample chest pillows. Indeed, all done properly, so hopefully it won't return. That is. So, Rover Joe, are you finding the welding malarkey actually okay now? Has it just been perseverance learning how to do it? Because it doesn't seem that long ago when you hadn't done it at all. And now you're fabricating all sorts of bits of metal and mending a rotten car and being very, very ambitious with it. And it's very impressive to see. Yes, Alan Bennett. Oh, right, hang on. K. Forbearing one another and forgiving one another in any man have a quarrel against any. Even as Christ forgave you, so also ye. On the Colossians. Well, okay, I'm not sure what that's there for, but presumably you wanted it read out, and so I've done that. Boaty's World is now asking, would you allow a man to push 5 pickled onions up your bottom if he filled your car with petrol? Would you allow a man? But which man? Not you, surely. I'm a bit suspicious of you now, Boaty, because I know you can't afford to fill my car full of petrol, yet you're wanting to stuff pickled onions up my bottom. That actually is beginning to make me think, this is why he's always skint, because he just goes around with a massive big jar of pickled onions and making offers like that to people. Some people might get offended by that, and it's very, very costly as well. If you take out the pickled onions and just let people do their own pickled onions, then you're going to find that you're going to be much better off financially, my friendy. Can you do an impression of Boaty doing an impression of you doing Mick Hucknall? Ooh, gosh, that's an interesting one, Andrew. An impression of Boaty doing an impression of me doing Mick Hucknall. Well, I reckon I could, because by the time it's got that far, it's going to end up something like that. Use the same words. Well, Mick Hucknall here from Simply Red. Don't waste just a call. Do you reckon that would do it? 6 pickled onions. Trevor Buick, Captain Mustard for local MP. We don't grasp the power of social media in this country. I would vote for Paul MP. Thank you very much, Trevor. And that makes me think that yes, I should be running for some sort of council, shouldn't I? Yes, I would. I'd have people fined on the street for backing out into main roads and leaving shopping trolleys in the car park. Balked schlonged. I was born for a hard erection into my butthole. Gosh. How do you know? Nobody's born for that. You might have looked back and thought, I had a rather strange upbringing, but I don't think you were born for it. Unstoppable 1. Hello, Unstoppable 1. TV boy. You're so baby girl, can I fill you up? TV boy says, well, that's certainly something, isn't it? Maybe you're in the wrong country, I suppose. Well, you need to, unless you like the beards as well. You want some. You want a man, don't you? That's really it, with a beard and glasses and hair And that does it for you, TV boy. And I know it does it for some people. It really does. Don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. It's fine. It's just that I can't really actually do that for you. But you could put some sort of request out on the internet or on your Facebook or social media saying, right, okay, people, this is it. I really could do with a man with a beard and glasses and some long hair that actually likes to chat a bit because I'm feeling frisky. Anyone want to help? Somebody will. Screen name ambiguity doesn't always work, says the Greenwood, but it was clearly a girl's name. I get 100 times worse. That's a good point. Yes. Yes. We all know about that. Sorry, Mustard, but, says Andrew Buttigieg, you certainly don't want to swipe down. The confused gent with the badly applied makeup is on, and I don't know who that is, and I'm not going to find out. Okay. Rob Joe, yeah, it seems to be really easy. I've struggled with the upside down welding. I got some of the crappy paint off, the still so far, but it's all good. Well, that is excellent. Good man, good man. And you're an inspiration, I will say, because I've still got a welder at work, which doesn't even belong to me, but I'd love to start doing something with it. It's just finding a bit more time and that kind of special moment where you just think, right, I'm going to get on and do this now, because I've made fabricated bits of shaped metal for welding before, and I quite enjoyed it actually. We appear to have a gay in community night, so welcome, says the Greenwood. I'll have anyone. I'll have anybody. Right, TV boy says, can I please breed you? Well, I'm going to have to say no, because it would be actually impossible. I'm going to say no on that basis, and also no because I don't really want to do. But keep asking. I don't think you'll grind me down, but you're welcome to keep asking. Boaty with a big jar of pickled onions for gas. Yes, that's a rather interesting image, isn't it? And hopefully that was one that he was trying to get people to think of. Evening all, says Mighty Cat Mods. Welcome, Mighty Cat Mods. Hi, Mighty. Hello, Greenwood. Hello. Just came in from Kitch's stream. This is way better. Who's Kitch? Yeah, I don't need to know, do I? Rob Joe says, yeah, I really enjoy it when it comes together and it's really rewarding. Tomorrow, I just need to fit the final piece of the inner arch and I'll be focusing on the reinforcers and the outer arch. Are you doing any of this off of drawings or just figuring out what bits to make? Forgot Kitch was doing a live. I still don't know who that is. So, says Trevor Buick, I have a little soft spot for Auntie something in your... Oh, no, she's not an auntie. No. Something in your 416, a lady who likes to work. She does like to work, yes. Now, yeah, that wasn't the actual reason for calling that car Mrs. Doyle. I could explain the reason why, but it is rather long-winded. It's very, very long-winded. And then, so I won't go into exactly that, but when the name Mrs. Doyle popped up, I thought, yes, that's it. And I'm very happy with that name. And I'm going to choose more names. Better than Auntie Sophie, because Auntie Sophie's basically, she's all right, but she doesn't want to get off the sofa very often. She just likes to lounge around and watch repeats of EastEnders, and it's not very productive, is it? I mean, she's a nice enough lady, but I mean, come on, it gets boring after a while. It gets boring to start with, and there's no wonder she doesn't want to work, does she? She doesn't actually want to do anything. Just wants to lounge around, and it's just not really good. Gosh, I missed a few comments there. Kitch is Up and Down Videos, Aussie Ford specialist in Fareham. Oh, in Hampshire. I see. A lot of it, I use cardboard, then I shape it a bit and trace it onto sheet metal, says Rover Joe. That's kind of what I thought you would do, actually. Good evening, mustard and all, says Dino Dad, introducing himself as, well, not introducing himself at all, but just saying good evening, which is, well, without, because that's what he said. Dino Dad, welcome Ross. Ross, hello Ross. Ross is from Australia, and that makes him on the opposite side of the world to me. Thank you for joining us. Pizza P. Oh, right, okay. Should I do it? Right, yeah. Would you like a cup of tea, Father? Go on. Now, lovely, persistent Mrs. Doyle. I'd be all right there, wouldn't I? If I went over to Craggy Island and visited the parochial house that nobody lives in any longer, but the ghost of Mrs. Doyle is still there making cups of tea. I mean, she's probably still alive, really. I don't mean the actor, I mean the character, because I mean, it was played by an actress that was much younger than the character in the show, wasn't it? Yeah, and I'd like a cup of tea. Yeah, if you want to make a cup of tea, I will have it. I will drink the lot. I could do the Mrs. Doyle at work. Imagine how much time I would save by not making cups of tea. Kitch is up and down. Oh, right, yeah. Mate of Hubnut. Plus, he's a spanner man. He's a spanner man. A spanner man on them French cars. Oh, I think he has an SM. I do like an SM. Dave Smith is here. Hello, Dave Smith. How fantastic. Thank you for joining us. 4 hours, Kip, and I'm off to work again, says Dino Dad. I'll tell you what, I'm not sure what it is you like the most, whether it's joining in live streams or going to work, because there seems to be just two things you do, and those are those two things. Oh, and hello to you, and hello. Why do you give your cars names? Asks Dave Smith. Well, that is an actual proper, serious question with a genuine answer that I'm going to give you. As I make a cup of coffee. Oh, really? Should I drink more coffee now at this time at 10 to 10? 10 to 10 is not coffee drinking time, is it really? And it is Friday. Oh, yes. So that makes a difference to me because all days are the same. It's Friday. That means tomorrow's Saturday. What do we do on Saturday? Oh, I'll go to work. Right. Oh, it's Sunday tomorrow. What am I going to do? No, I'll go to work. But what I don't do is go particularly early. Hello. Oh, there we go. That means that, ow, my thoughts. Ooh. Yes. I stubbed my toe, could you tell? Beer. That's the beer in a can, and you don't drink it out of the can unless you live on the streets. Who does that? Does anybody drink beer out of a can at home when you've got glasses? I really don't understand why anybody would do it. It's much nicer out of a glass. Anyway, so I was asked a question by Dave Smith, which I shall now answer. That was, why do you give cars names? The answer is, quite simply, to identify them from one to another. That's why anybody has names. But specifically with cars, what do I have? I've got Rovers, haven't I? It wouldn't matter whether they were Rovers or Volvo or Saab or indeed Nissan. If you've got quite a few cars that are not too different from one another, then it's easier to identify them as actual names. Plus, it helps, you give them the opportunity to have a bit more personality. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Naming cars isn't something that I've ever really done before. I did have a there was once I had a Triumph Dolomite that I bought just for its engine and gearbox for the other Triumph Dolomite that I did have where the gearbox had gone wrong. And this is 20 years ago, something like that. And the moment I drove this car, I called it Herman because it just popped into my head. This car is called Herman. And with the rest of the cars that the cars these days, it is somewhat contrived because a car turns up or I go and collect it and I think, right, what can I call it? But it's easier. It's easier to, identify one from another by just giving it a name, surely. So Toby Charles was a Rover Tourer. Fred the Shed is a Rover Tourer. And Mrs. Doyle also a Rover Tourer. Easy just giving them names. Hope that makes sense. I give my plants names, says Emma Lemon. Good. And do you find as well it helps you bond with the plants at all? One arch is done and there's a lot left to do, says Joe. Just the front sill and floor, that's pretty much it. I used to, when I had plants, one was called Neil. Would you like a tea making machine? It takes out all of the misery, asks Mighty Cat Mods. Well, no, I don't really see any misery in making a cup of tea. Not at all, in fact. I don't think I'd like tea quite as much if I had a tea making machine. I know Mrs. Doyle was a tea making machine, and because of her insistent nature, she probably wouldn't make the cup of tea that you wanted. You could say, no, that's too strong, that, Mrs. Doyle. Could you, the next one, I'll drink this, but could you make the next one not so strong? I don't want 4 tea bags in it, squeeze for 10 minutes, like pummeling the tea bags into the cup like that, and then the tea's so dark that it basically leaves tanning all over your face. And then she carries on and does it. If it was that, then yeah, I probably would prefer a tea making machine, or I'd like to just do it myself. But I don't find it that much of a chore, because it's not difficult, is it? Did you grow Neil from a seed trace? KKK, hi, I am from Liverpool. Welcome, KKK. My name is this the new series of the League of Gentlemen? Well, I'll take that as what I like to do is I take it, even if it's an insult, I'll take it as a compliment. That's just the best way to do it. But thank you for asking. Has Mustard lost weight since I started watching? What, in the past half an hour? No, it's an hour, isn't it? I doubt it, really. That would be far too little time. Noah was about 4 inches tall and he grew to 5 foot. Took years. One day he suddenly gave up. Loved Neil. Poor Neil. Puttycat. Oh, I've not seen Puttycat for a while. Now, Puttycat was... didn't you have jokes before? Comes to think of it. Puttycat says, who's the most popular guy in the nudist colony? The one who can carry a cup of coffee in each hand and a dozen donuts. I'm sure I've read that one before. Oh, one thing Aussies do is drink straight from the can. Yeah. So, but you're not really an Aussie, are you? You're a Scottish man. You're a British man living in Australia. So you probably look and think, do you Aussies not know where the glasses are? Steve W, today I finally got my DNA membership. National Dyslexics Association. Interesting. I didn't know that was such a thing, actually, but there we go. Interesting. One more says Putty Cat, my neighbour has been mad at his wife for sunbathing nude. Personally, I'm on the fence. Lager can lose its fizz when you pour it into a glass. Well, unless you've got one of these things in the bottom of the glass that keeps it going. Yeah, that works perfectly fine. And I'll try and drink some from the can, okay? And I'll tell you if it's that bad or not. But, right, let's do it. Right. Taste-wise, it does seem a bit fizzier from the can, but the actual experience of drinking it isn't particularly pleasant. And there's just my association with people, my thoughts of seeing anyone drinking out of a can, unless they're in Australia, is exactly that. You only do it if you've got nowhere to live. And that's what it feels like whilst doing it. Don't fall over like Boaty did when he came out of the caravan, says Andrew Buttigieg. Yeah, how did he fall over stepping out of a caravan? He's just making sure that he doesn't have to say thanks to me for making that lovely little unstable path, meaning that you can get to the caravan without getting your feet dirty. I'd have thought he'd have really liked that. I'd have thought that would have really appealed to him, because he's not someone that turns up and wants to get his hands dirty. We all know that. So why would he want to get his feet dirty? I don't know. So, oh gosh, I reckon he did that trip deliberately just so he can complain about it rather than saying, "Oh, thanks, bastard. I really should have helped you put these bricks down to make sure my feet don't get dirty, but I couldn't be bothered. But you did it. You did it. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I owe you a favour." Now, my impression of Boaty starts to sound a bit like George from Rainbow. So maybe that's where I'm going with that one. Or 2 Mondays ago. Right, if you drink from a can, you should wash it first. Well, that's a good point, actually. Indeed. Oh, I'll tell you what people drink from cans usually would be pop. Because if you buy a can of pop, which I don't tend to do, usually you buy it because you're out somewhere and you need a drink, so you just drink it from the can. But yeah, I remember having a can of pop when I was about 12, and my nan, who was she was quite old by this point. She was way over 60. In fact, she might have been nearly 70 at that point. I can't even remember. Anyway, I had this can of pop, which I didn't have very often at all. So it was very much a treat for me to have a can of pop. But I'd have one of these small cans of pop and I'd make it last me half an hour. But she insisted on cleaning it first. And I forgot all about that up until now. Dave Smith says, I don't name my cars. Does that make me not normal? I don't name my cars. Does that make me not normal? No, it doesn't. It's not normal. It's perfectly normal not to name a car. And I was always of the opinion it's a bit sad, really, naming cars. Because, it seems, well, like I said before, a bit contrived. If a name pops out, then yeah, fair enough. Or the car's already got a name. But if the car's already got a name, then you're taking on somebody else's thing, aren't you? But I have done that when it comes to cars that come along. If the car's already got a name, then it means something to somebody else. And so I respect that. I do. I respect it. A little bit like if you was to be given a dog that was previously owned by somebody else, and for whatever reason, they couldn't own that dog. They couldn't look after it any longer. And they just needed somebody to take it on and give it a nice life. You wouldn't change its name, would you? Would you? Would you? Or would you? Well, I'll tell you, we did. When we had our dog, when I was a teenager, we had a dog. It was a Labrador, a cross Labrador. It looked just like a Labrador, but it was quite small and it had a curly tail. So what it was actually crossed with, I don't know. But it had Labrador temperament. It was a lovely, happy, friendly dog. And it was called Hutch. And my dad didn't like that name. He thought it was a strange name, didn't he? Hutch, why would you call a dog Hutch? So it got named Monty, which is a proper dog's name. All dogs should be named Monty. Yeah, and you imagine that Monty's actually a name that people have for people as well. And it's a good proper man's name. The connotations of somebody being called Monty are, well, a bit posh, aren't they? Does that make dogs posh because they're all called Monty? I don't know. So yeah, I think actually, if you want to change the name of the car, it's perfectly okay, provided that the previous name makes you feel somewhat uneasy or sick or you just don't like it. All those good reasons. Agreed. Rats. Mighty Cat mods. Ah, right. Puttycat, do you give your kids car names? For example, is one of them called Oldsmobile? Well, I don't call them kids. No, they're goats. They're baby goats. So no, to be honest. Ah, brilliant! One of our wonderfully interesting people called Avin Ashit is here. Evening, folks. Good evening to you. And anyone from Kimberley? Where is Kimberley? So I don't know. AMS. Do you have a dog? Says AMS. I don't have a dog. No, not had a dog for 10 years nearly now. All my farts have names, says Dave Smith. Oh, that's interesting enough. Oh, but it's probably time as well. Time for me to remind anyone watching this live stream now. I will catch up with the comments if I've not got there so far. So just hang on. There's no rush, is there? There's no rush. No. When I get those watch hours up, you can get yourself rushed to the front by sending me some money, but you can't do that just yet. No, not unless you go to PayPal. But I will read all of the comments that are here. But in the meantime, please like the live stream. Just like it. Just pretend to like it. Just press the like button and it will make me like you. Yeah, it will make me like you. So many people go into live streams because they want to be part of some sort of community, and you are welcome here. And I will like you more for being useful to me, and liking the live stream is useful. All right, yeah, of course. Darren Johnson, evening all. Good evening, Darren Johnson. Like fizzy oysters, says Steve W. I don't know what you mean by that. Black lines. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, black lines, yeah. Jimmy Quinn is here. Hi, Jimmy Quinn is here and saying hello before he goes, which is interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jimmy Quinn. When my cars don't start, I call it AMS. So do make love with your dog. Right, let's read that out a bit more carefully. So do make love with your dog. Right, okay. I think I know what you're trying to say. It's just that it doesn't make sense. But at least you've tried. Yeah, it's tried. If you have a dog and you give it a hug, yeah, that's fair enough. If you stroke it, you pet it. If you take it for a walk, if you feed it, all of those things are showing love. So I reckon so, yeah. And if you don't love your dog, you shouldn't have one. Yeah. It's year again. Always happens when I'm doing a live stream. A lot of people are saying hello to each other, which is always rather cool. And oh, wonderful horseshoe. Hi, Mustard. You enjoying your beer? I am actually, yeah. I am, because the alternative would have been something full of caffeine that would have just made it difficult for me to sleep. And I find it difficult enough to sleep as it is. But tonight, well, I might do. Might find it a bit difficult to sleep. But I've got a video to edit. Oh, of course I have. I've got a video to edit. I've got a video to edit about a car called Allison. I reckon this is going down a bit quicker than I was expecting. Shab Numbigum, can you say my name? Eliza. Hello, Eliza. Jimmy. Hello, hello, hello. Puttycat. I used to be Cat's Meow. Oh, right. Maybe it's another one then. Wait a minute, yeah. Cat's Meow. I think he was on the other day then. But well, I suppose Puttycat's a kind of name that many people would probably choose to take. And there's nothing to stop just a username being used over and over again. But we'd had somebody else called Puttycat fairly recently, and I assumed he was the same person. Trevor Buick, in terms of Rover, if we have the young scamp that is Nigel and the Rover 416 Tourer that is Mrs. Doyle, who is Uncle Bulgaria? An 827. Oh, well, quite possibly. I haven't got an 827 though. Wouldn't mind one. But actually, I've had a few people making suggestions of cars that I could have, that I could swap my Tourer for. As I mentioned within the video, that I'd like to, I don't really want to swap it as such. I don't want to get rid of it. It seems to be the sensible thing to kind of keep it until somebody offers some money for it. But an older thing, what older thing would do me best? Well, somebody mentioned a P6, and I kind of think it might be a bit too old. Plus, they rot really badly through the bulkhead, and I'd prefer a car of that age to be a Triumph 2000. What about a not P6? Sorry, an SD1. Yes. I used to have an SD1, and I didn't really particularly care for it at the time. But we're going back 25 years ago. More than 25 years ago. Gosh. Oh, wow. Really? Could it be? Oh, wow, nearly 30 years ago. What? Really? Yeah, possibly. Nearly 30 years ago, I had an SD1. When Mrs. Doyle was brand new, I was driving around in a Rover SD1. Ugh. And I didn't like it much, and at the time it was worth bugger all. It was a 2.6, and it was dreadful on fuel, and the electric windows didn't work. Now, I like that car now. I didn't want it then. Makes me fearful of how quickly the next 30 years will go by. Will even be in 30 years. It's time to put a nicer beer in the fridge freezer. The fridge freezer of doom. The fridge freezer of doom. Here, where's that curry? You might well be asking. Well, you might not. You might have forgotten about it as much as I have. And that's the trouble. I was starting to feel a bit hungry before. It's kind of gone away. I haven't talked myself out of wanting food. I just haven't thought about it too much recently. Oh, by the way, I had another check on how many watch hours I now need for this channel to go to the next level, and it's something like 696. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But it'll happen. It'll happen relatively quickly, as long as I do live streams and people watch them, and I put the occasional video out that some people might watch. Smoko, I'm on. Smoko, I'm on. Okay, I like to eat batteries, and well, yeah. Now, if we're talking about lead acid batteries, the kind of thing of a car, they would be quite filling, but also a bit dangerous. And lead's poisonous, remember, and acid isn't particularly good for your internals or your externals either. So don't. In fact, actually, to think of it, let's say eating batteries is not a good idea for anybody that might be thinking of it. Hello, the Greenwood. Hello, hello, hello. Bridge Little. Here we go. A shout out. Can you shout out my brother, Mike? Mike, welcome. If you're watching, welcome. Welcome to the live stream, Mike. You are most welcome to stay here. Just join in and like the live stream and have a jolly good chat amongst the other members. Brilliant. Yes. Krispy Kreme. What's that? Banana Boy is here. Hello, Banana Boy. The one with the biggest tits, says Jimmy Quinn. What could that be about? I don't know. Having a shit. Did you hear about the dyslexic pimp who bought a warehouse? Oh, yeah. Very good. Yeah, well done. Yes. That's what we like. Now, I mentioned this the other day. If you're going to do a joke, do it all in one comment, because if you do a joke and the punchline is on another comment, chances are I might not be able to. I've got to keep scrolling up and down and everything, and it's not as easy then. But I do want jokes. I love jokes. Jokes are brilliant. I just wish I could remember them. Should we leave you alone, Smoko? Smoko. What kind of name is that anyway? Hey, come on, Smoko. Be good. The one and only Nicole retracted message. Daniel Vazwani. Hello. Oh gosh, a whole load of messages removed there for probably repetition, which we don't need. That's why the moderator's message is pinned to the top of the chat. It's important. Read it. Then join in and have some time. As a kid, I was quite happy my dad drank from his tenant's lager. Tenant's lager from the can at the home back in the day. As a kid. How long's Tennent's been around? I thought Tennent's lager was one of those that came about in the 80s. I do get people's ages mixed up ever so slightly, Ross, but I thought you was from 1976. So, right, I suppose that's possible then. Yeah, all right. Well, actually, I'm not questioning it anyway. So, 1976, 10 years later. Yeah, okay. Right, there, that solves that one, doesn't it? Wow, there's an awful lot of just the same messages been. Right. Yeah. It must feel, for some, a bit strange. You're just asking a question and it doesn't get answered. You ask a question, it doesn't get answered. Ask a question, it doesn't get answered. When I was doing live streams on my other channel, very, very occasionally somebody new would turn up and they'd think that they was being ignored if I didn't answer them straight away, which is Obviously, not really the case. But you need to have a little bit of patience. Just a little bit. Because if you come in and leave a message, I will read it out. And if you haven't got any patience, the one thing that you wanted, which is your message to be read out, you'll miss because you'll already have gone. And that would be a real shame, wouldn't it? Throw of Cobra. Throw of Cobra, that's quite a good name actually. Hello in Russia, Siberia. Now, although we're just getting into summer in the Northern Hemisphere, Siberia is still a very long way north, and I would be very interested to know, Throw of Cobra, what kind of temperatures you are experiencing up there. Mustard, do you feed the fish tea leaves? No, I don't. Is there any recommendation for feeding them tea leaves? Maybe the vegetarian fish actually like them. Nice to see in the stream too, Puddycat, says Daniel Vaswani. Right, okay. No, I'm not Jewish. Oh, no, maybe you're being clever there. Maybe you're being clever there, making some sort of Jesus reference. And if that's what that was, then I applaud that. But other than that, no. Why are you asking? That's a weird question. Howdy says life with Ron. But life with Ron, interesting. Not necessarily an interesting name or anything, but that you've got the way that's there. What we're calling this? The background. You've a coloured in background. Life with Ron and a tick. So like life with Ron. Yes, it's good. Welcome, Life with Ron. Howdy. Don't forget to like, says Jimmy Quinn. Don't forget to like. I agree. Interesting. I've been called much worse. Mary Grubbs. Nah. Nah, what? well, bye-bye, Mary Grubbs. It's not weird. I asked because I have long hair, like most Jews. Oh. I didn't realise it was any kind of thing. Clearly, it's not an offensive question. So we're all fine with that anyway, aren't we? We're all fine with that. Dino Dad says, I go on lives as my life is a hollow shell. And I need the comfort of random weirdos to get me through the day. Well, that's interesting, being chucked in the same bucket of random weirdos that you continually watch. I know you said actually at one point you prefer live streams to videos. And, you know, that is a curious one for me, I must say. Oh, particularly my videos. I put quite a lot of effort into my videos, and I want people to like them because I put effort into them. YYG, yo YYG, same here, Ross, Andrew Buttigieg. I got a joke. What's brown and sticky? A turd, says Dave Smith. Brilliant. A turd. I've got one as well. Right, okay, here we go. What's brown and stinky? A turd. Another one. Right, what's brown and smells of poo? A turd. YYG, favourite sport. What's your favourite sport? You're going to have to tell me. You're going to tell me. I won't necessarily be that interested because I'm not a fan of sport, but you can. You can tell me. You can tell the rest of the crew here because some of them like sports. Butchering. Naked darts. That sounds a bit dangerous, actually. Daniel Vaswani says, I've scrolled up very high. I do not see questions he's reading. So, is he streaming on another platform? No, it's all done here. Now, the danger is of doing live streams where people come in and they're kind of a bit behind, is that they might just think that it's not even live, but it is live. Have you ever played Naked Leapfrog? I haven't. No. The Dragon Puppet Master is here. I'm back. Have you set your to all chat? Okay. Is reading comments in this chat. Just suddenly people come in and comment to put things behind. I have now. Right. Okay. Please don't get the. Oh, please don't try to get the host to say offensive words and stuff like that. I didn't see that one. Maybe you've deleted it. Well, right, okay. Dino Dad says 94. I was driving a B-Reg blue Volvo 340 GLI. Oh, 340. Oh no, that's the worst. That's the bad Volvo. Yes, they're the bad ones. I would really like a Volvo, an old Volvo about that age, but I wouldn't want a 340. No, no way. No, thank you. I've had two of them. I had two of them around that kind of time myself. And guess what? They have that Renault engine in that might be good for a Renault 5, but in a Volvo, which weighs quite a bit more, not particularly good. And so it's slow. And both of the ones that I had engine failure, where they just lost oil pressure and just went completely wrong. What was offensive, asks Charles Xavier, and I don't know. Oh, watch hours and subs creeping up, says the Greenwood. Yeah, they're creeping up, but we still don't. The days of lots and lots of people in the live stream are well and truly gone. They can only come back by me doing decent live streams, which is what I'm trying to do. And hopefully some of us will see it. The only thing is, by engaging with the people in the live stream, like tonight, I've done nothing else. I was going to have my curry, but instead I've spent an hour and 22 minutes just talking through comments. I always feel flat after consuming batteries. I did really like the taste of batteries when I was younger, slightly sour. Are we talking about the 9-volt battery that you just stick on your tongue? That's sour, isn't it? Yeah, that's really sour. Right, Charles Xavier, why can't I say the N-word? A black man can't say the N-word. Can't say the N-word. A black man can't say the N-word. I suppose. Are you a black man, Xavier? Charles? The trouble is, I suppose, if why you wouldn't be able to say it would be because the same reason it's not been considered suitable for just saying when you want it for a long time, which it might be offensive to people who are black. So if you're black, then you can say, well, it's not offensive if I say it, but we don't know that, do we? And then if other people join in and start using that word, would you be offended by it if you are? Charlotte Caniston, what one person finds delicious, another might consider bitter. Oh, we're still talking about batteries. Can a beer be objectively good, or is it entirely dependent on the drinker? I think it can be good, but it's an acquired taste, and many people never acquire that taste for the stuff, so they're missing out. Right. Right, hang on, who's this then? Ilham. Hello there. Not on this stream. Yeah, a good point. Okay, right. Exit signs, they're on their way out. I like those sort of really simple jokes like that. I find them quite pleasing. Hello, Captain Mustard and chat, says Hooked on Classics. Hello, Simone. Welcome again. Welcome again. I must ask you, Simone, actually, because I don't know the whole story of you and your car. But the Mark III Cortina Estate that you have called TC, it's not your everyday car, is it? But you did take it. You did take it to you took it to the NEC, didn't you? And obviously it's tax and MOT exempt. But is it, in your opinion, a roadworthy car? Because I think what can happen is often cars enter this MOT exempt time, and many people I've seen trying to sell them and saying it's got a particular problem, but it doesn't matter because it's MOT exempt, and that's kind of not the point. And personally, if I was to buy a car that was MOT exempt, I'd want it to have an MOT as proof that it's MOT exempt, because it doesn't really need it. The MOT exemption, I believe, is there because anyone that wants to have a car that's 40 years old isn't doing it because they want to get out of repairs, but they're doing it because they want a particular car. And so in order to make sure that car stays on the road, they carry out the repairs that are needed. Just a thought, just a question. Elizabeth Berry, hi, ho. Hi, ho. Hello. Have you ever had a supernatural experience? Angelic asks Charles. Well, lots of people say they have. I don't really believe it myself. I think people have a very, very vivid imagination, and they forget that an imagination can do an awful lot. The imagination is responsible for the world around us, the wonderful things that we have, art, music, and everything else, and architecture, science. That's what the imagination can do. But if you're not careful, it can really make things go wrong as well. And that's why, basically, why depression can be such a bad thing as well, because depression does tend to affect people with a good imagination. And unless you're doing something with that imagination, it can send you down the wrong path. I'm not saying that's the only ever reason, but I do know, a bit noisy up there, I do know that creative people can be particularly vulnerable for it. So, and with that, if your imagination can do all these other things, I'm sure it can convince you that you've had some sort of supernatural experience. Hello, Simone, how's the eyebrows? That's why I make sure to greet people, etc., so they don't feel left out, says the Greenwood. I've just booked my ticket for the Rustival in September. We don't know where that is yet, though, do we not? Or do we? I thought that was the problem, because I'd quite like to go along to that, but I don't particularly want to go too far. And if it's down in Portsmouth, Hampshire, for example, I wouldn't go because it's just a bit too far. I don't want to be staying out overnight. EBO YouTube, hello, welcome. All right, I will. God8281, please help. Why does my butt hurt after sleeping at my friend's house? Well, the answer is because you slept on a very uncomfortable chair, rather than going home and doing the responsible thing, tucking yourself in, and making sure you have a good night's sleep. But instead, you got yourself well and truly inebriated on cheap lager, cheap vodka. What gets me is when somebody leaves a message, then leaves it again, then ask them not to repeat, and then they've left the comments deliberately because they've been told off. That's what gets them kicked off, isn't it? Hey, tick and coloured in this verified, I think. Hi God, are you enjoying your son in the live stream? Good. I'm just making sure he tidies his room. Very good, well done, thank you. Oh, cool. Goated Goat. Shout out, please. Oh, yeah, you can have that. Goated Goat, welcome to the live stream. And don't forget to like. Hi, Goated. Nice jokes. Goated Goat. Yes, Goat. Goated Goats. Yeah, I think people like that name, don't they? Roblox King. Hello. Avin Ashit. Pun, a play on words, a limerick, a walk into a bar. No joke. Not the best though, is it? Fun fact, says God. Goat milk. Goat milk helps for bum rash. Well, it would do, wouldn't it? It would do. Any kind of any milky based stuff helps with rashes. It's fun. It is, yeah. Are you in live chat, Mustard? If not, that would probably hide my deletes. I am in live chat. Yes, I am. Live goat yogurt, probably better. Melon Plays. Hello, Melon Plays. Hello, Melon. I quite like Switzerland, says Dino Dad, and the flag is a big plus. Rover Joe, I've just been doing some video editing. The video is going to be 40 minutes long. Well, be careful with that, Joe, because if you're going to do a 40-minute long video, you've got to make sure there's an awful lot of stuff going on. Otherwise, it will only really appeal to a small audience. That, I mean, unfortunately, we are in this increasing time, where people's attention span is getting shorter and shorter, it would seem. So not as many people want all of the details. They just want to see that you've done something and then go. Melon Plays says, who likes the new Jojo Siwa? I'm going to say no, because I've got no idea what that is. Can you tell I'm a Tim Vine fan? Yeah, I do quite like the old Tim Vine one-liners. It's very inoffensive as well, isn't it? Not that I'm afraid of naughtier jokes. But personally, I'm not really brave enough to really just say everything I think or everything I feel joke-wise. If it's a joke, I do think it should be okay to say it, as long as you're not using the excuse of it being a joke to say offensive things, which is always the danger. Then you can just say, well, it's just a joke. But no, it's like the difference between bullying and banter. But yeah, hang on. Right, I've gone and went off there. Right, sorry, I don't want to distract you too much. Sem Metzelier says, call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Why? Won't work in this country. I live in Britain. 911. I don't even know what happens if you do that. All right. Okay. Jimmy Quinn's off. Thank you very much for being here. Maxi, do you know about semen retention? No, I don't actually. You can tell me all about it if you want to do. Bye, Jimmy. See you at 11:30, of course. Oh, right. That's an hour off. I want TC to be solid, says Hooked on Classics. When I welded it, it was good enough for getting home. The plan was to get it home, finish the work off, but the things got in the way, and I used it rarely when I realised. Sam Metzler. I'm choking on an egg. Oh, right, I see. You mean choking? I'm choking on an egg at the minute. in Main Street, Los Angeles. Call 911 first. There's a sketch in, I think it was Big Train or something like that. Oh no, it wasn't Big Train. I think it could have been Monkey Dust. Anyway, there was a sketch. It was Monkey Dust, yeah, where there was a fire. There was a fire, and so this chap sat at his computer and emailed the fire brigade and said something like, "Hello, please help. There's a fire going on at my residence at the moment. Could you please attend and put it out?" Along those lines. That's what that reminds me of. Very good, very funny. Hooked on Classics. I came home from the NEC and it needed serious work at the rear, so it's basically been nowhere in a year. And these things do build up, don't they? That's the trouble. You end up with an awful lot of work accumulating and causing all sorts of problems. I'm welding this year. Rustival 2 is in Gaydon. Ah, right, okay. Well, that's not, still quite a long way from here, but it's, at least it's doable in a day. I want TCMOT'd. Yeah. Good, that's the best way, really. Hello. Avin Ashit. Oh, it's bedtime for him, isn't it?
It's never bedtime for me.
Oh, right, I see.
Not just yet, though.
No, didn't think so. Having a good cry in the shower. Rebecca Boole. Hello, Rebecca Boole. Ah, right, my youngest daughter. Ah, right. So it's another real person in the live stream. Well, thank you very much for joining. Rover Joe, I thought I'd put all the inner stuff in one video. Makes it less cluttered, I suppose. It does, yeah. I mean, I'm not telling you how to make videos. I mean, my videos are shorter than that, but you don't really get a great deal of anything going on. James Red O'Connor, I just want to say I've been watching your live streams every night and you're a good man. Keep up the good work, my friend James in Ireland. Thank you very much, James. I'll tell you what, you're a good man for saying that. Now, please like the live stream. I usually stick to 20 minutes max, but it's hard to cram it all down. But you could do it in 2 videos. There's a possibility. Ah, right, it was the IT crowd that did that emailing. Right, yes. Fire. There is a fire going on at the moment, said Moss. I used to do a really good impression of the other one, the goth. Richmond, that's him. Farewell, Mustard, the Greenwood, and everyone else in the stream. Take care and have a restful night, says Charlotte Calliston. Good night to you, Charlotte. Do you remember the Only Fools and Horses, says James, the chandeliers and the posh man, the chandeliers in the posh mansion? What do you think of that episode? I was never really that much of a fan of Only Fools and Horses. I didn't really watch it too much when it was on. And then years later I saw a few episodes. I thought, it's quite good, this actually. But it's full of jokes that have been ruined by people repeating them and copying them. And then when you do actually finally get to watch it, it's kind of... Unknown, what advice do you give teenagers? It depends on what, really. It depends on what. I'd happily offer some of my wisdom on any subject. Oh, yeah. What was Moss's idea for the new emergency number? The one that you had to sing out loud, that ended on 3. Very good. I really like that. Mustard, I have a spare door to paint and fit, new panels, tow bar, and a boot seal. Feel free to watch my work if you have time. I will try to, Simone. I will try to. I think you understand as well as many people do, of course, that I don't really get a chance to watch a great deal of other videos because of making my own. And then when you start doing live streams as well, then suddenly you end up with no time left at all. Oh, brilliant. No, it was the actual real number. 0118999 Obviously, I didn't pay attention, says Andrew Buttigieg. I could have done it in 2 parts. Yes, you could have done, of course, Joe. I read that off from memory, but of course, I didn't just Google it. What you do with work? I'm an electrician. I hate it, says James. Well, I very much try to make a living out of car parts and actual cars. And as everybody knows, it doesn't always work out too well. But I try, I keep on going. And then, of course, the YouTube thing runs alongside it. YouTube exposes everything I do at work, and that is much more consistent with earnings. It's not enough, but if I keep going, I've only really got to kind of treble what I'm doing at the moment to make it just about livable. So I'm aiming for that and trying to keep going, because once I get there, then it's a ladder you just keep on climbing. Oh, as a quote there, I'd rather be at the bottom of a ladder that I want to climb than at the top of one I don't want to be on. Where was that from? The Office, that was it. Who's watching the Eurovision Song Contest tomorrow night? Not me. Our entry is Pants, says Greenwood, but there's a couple of bangers from elsewhere. Australia is out of the Eurovision doings. Why is Australia in the Eurovision contest anyway? Why is it in there? Obviously, no offence to Australia, but what's it got to do with Europe? Oh, did you say Austria? Hang on, just check. Just check. Australia, yeah, Australia, not Austria. Hello, Mustard, says Puttycat. I'm back. Are you drunk yet? No, I'm not drunk. I've had 1 can of beer in a glass, which I've enjoyed very much, but I need a bit more than that to be actually drunk. Quite a bit more than that. If I was 15, then maybe that would do the job. I've not been that age for a very, very long time. Yes, Peter loved the Euro. Papa and Zorro too.
Right.
Okay, I'll be up in a second. Bambi Tug is a favourite from where she is at I live. It's as scary as Jeff.
Oh.
Leather Egg is a bit weird. Right, I've got to pop up. I'm only going to be doing another 10 minutes of this live stream anyway. I've just got to pop up and say good night to the small people whom are going to sleep, allegedly. They won't be doing, but I'm going to pop up anyway. And I'm back. I'm back. Look at that. Belly fills up the screen when I stand that close. Hello. Where have we got to? Right. Hang on, no, you've asked me that one. Yeah, Mustard, when you are drunk, do you like to sing songs? Yeah. But also, when I'm not drunk. The difference is as far as singing is concerned, you might be more likely to think I'm drunk when I'm not, and sober when I'm drunk, because of how I sing and what I would sing. Sober, I would just make up all sorts of stupid nonsense, like the classic apostrophe, another piece of carpet. That won't come out if I've had a few beers. The Eurovision, quite like Baby Lasagna. These songs are stupid, aren't they? I mean, I've not heard them, but what kind of title's that? I mean, it's kind of a good title in some ways. I kind of think you take it seriously, though. Too cold. Far too cold. Exactly.
Night.
Good night. Don't know. People in here, like I suppose, there's a fairly large portion of the population that were born overseas. Oh, right, in Australia. Denim story. The small people named Oldsmobile, yeah. I'm off, guys. See you later, says Andrew. Dino Dad Ross. Good night. I'll see you again soon. Have a good day at work. Special Broadcasting Service, SBS, had the broadcast the Eurovision Song Contest in Australia since 1983, and the contest gained a cult following of that time. Primarily due to the country's strong political and cultural ties with Europe. Okay, that's fair enough. I certainly wasn't suggesting that they're not allowed, because they are allowed. But would other countries be allowed in as well? Because you could just call it song contest, and anyone from any part of the world could join. From Google. Good that you actually mentioned that there, that you that you're actually accrediting Google. Mustard, do you like to play pinball? I've not played pinball since I was about 12. I will donate $20 if you drop 20 prsaywood, whatever that means, right now. Unfortunately, I don't know what you mean. Mustard, are the LA Lakers your favourite basketball team? Yes, they are. I love them. I can't get enough of them. Every morning, the first thing I do is to pick up my phone and I just check to see how they're doing. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I have no idea even who they are. Correct, Trace. Yes. Mustard, what's your favourite Muppet on Sesame Street? Oscar the Grouch, Cookie Monster. Thank you for a couple of examples there. My favourite are Bert and Ernie. Percocet. What's Percocet? Russia, Ukraine, Israel are all part of the Eurovision contest. None are in Europe. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, very good point. Since you don't play pinball, do you play pocket pool? That's what you progress to, is it? You stop playing pinball just before you get to being a teenager, and you go straight to pocket pool. I have to credit Google for stuff as it's my library. I suppose it is, isn't it? Google it; it's fun. Thank you. But the thing is, obviously, as the Greenwoods just explained it here, it's for me. I can't Google and do a live stream at the same time. Right, it's a narcotic and angelic used to treat moderately to severe pain. All right, so you want to pay me $20 to drop a lot of painkillers? I bet some of that $20 would actually be consumed buying these painkillers in the first place. Where do you get them from? Are they available in the chemist? I'd have to go to the chemist. There won't be one open. I'd have to go to a 24-hour chemist. That means driving or something, or waiting until tomorrow. Would it really be even worth my while? Would I find myself thinking, can't wait for this $20, which probably only equates to about £13 in the first place? And then I think, great, brilliant, I've earned myself some money for doing a simple task on a live stream. Turns out, no, it's not really worked out. By the time you paid for those painkillers, all you've got is £2 left, and probably on your way to an addiction. You are my leader, says Dougie. Cool, thank you. Mustard, do you prefer Google or a physical set of encyclopedias? Well, I've got nowhere to put a physical set of encyclopedias. That's what I used to have, that kind of thing. But Google's brilliant. Google is exactly what I would have very, very much made good use of growing up. And I've thought this so often, that people of today growing up being able to get the answer to their questions straight away, very, very convenient, very, very good, must be. Now, many people, they get to a certain age and they stop asking questions. They lose interest in finding out things. I think it's fabulous, you know. Dougie, I believe he is from the future. I'm not actually. No. More would say I'm from the past. Last question, says Puddycart. Was your favourite Rocky movie Rocky 3? I don't know. Was that the one where he had the fight with the big man? I think it was, wasn't it? If it is, then the answer is yes. Although I don't really like the film, and I thought it was completely implausible. But yeah, seeing how big that man was very impressive. When we were kids, we used to look up dirty words in the dictionary. Well, I think most people did that, and then they found out what they meant and thought, well, that's rather boring, actually. But if it's what you've got to do to encourage small people to learn how to use the dictionary, then yes, so be it. What's the problem? Oh, I learned how to use the dictionary by looking up the word arse. But it's actually just to see what the proper definition of that word is, I think, isn't it? And if you figure it out because of that, then that's great. Now, there was a lad at my school. I remember being about 14, and this particular boy, he was trying to find out how to spell a word. And I said, I just said, well, look up in the dictionary. He said, well, I don't know how to. And so I told him how to do it. And I always thought it was kind of strange that he couldn't figure out how to find the word in the dictionary. He's not even alive now. Never stop asking questions. Never lose the curiosity. Never grow up, says the Greenwood. I can second that. Google is horrible. You talk about cake, and cake comes up on Facebook. So I used DuckDuckGo. Never heard of that one. Oh, Rocky 3 was with Mr. T and Hulk Hogan. Once we arrange the letters in the restaurant to say we serve shit. South London in chat. Hello, old lifeguard drillers. Yes. Yes, I remember you from the other day. And unfortunately, you've arrived just at the moment that the live stream is about to end. But it's been a rather nice live stream. It's been a rather nice one. And again, it's pointless me making too many plans within them because I can't actually do them. All I was going to do tonight was warm up some curry. I wasn't going to bother making anything, any of that kind of thing. Yeah, I've spent nearly 2 hours just reading through chat messages, and that's it. So I hope that some of you have got something out of this and that you've liked the live stream, and new people have indeed subscribed to the channel. And I would like to see you all again, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. It rather depends on how convenient it actually is at the time. I also can't really promise I'll be making any food or not making any food because of exactly what we've seen here tonight. Oh gosh, perhaps. All over to Boaties at 11:30. Yahoo is also good for a search. Nobody seems to use anything other than Google these days, do they? Mustard, have a good night. Enjoy a few more beers. A few more beers? Well, that sounds like you're giving me permission to get drunk. That would be a good idea. Thank you. Right, okay. That's it then. That's it. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Thanks for liking. Thanks for liking. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing. And the biggest thank you, of course, goes to the Greenwood for all of the moderation tonight, which has been needed on a few occasions, so it's been worthwhile. See you in the next one.